Hello. Oh my god, my voice. As you can probably tell, I'm honestly not feeling too great today, but I wanted to film a video because it always cheers me up, like filming and stuff, and like it's just been my birthday, which I know a lot of people feel like it's a happy time, but to be honest, my birthday triggers a lot of like my anxiety and depression, so yeah, that's that. But I thought today I would turn how I'm feeling into a positive by sharing with you like some of my, these are literally all gonna be upside down, aren't they? Some of my favourite books, because I find like books and writing and stuff really helps me like work through my emotions and things like that. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Also, I'm obviously back home. If you've watched me before, you'll know this is my actual like kind of home address, my home like bedroom. Like the other room I'm filming, that's my university one, but I'm back home at the moment for my birthday. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop rambling and get on with it. Yeah, I don't know why, I feel like I'm coming down with a cold again, so bear with that. The first one I've got on my little pile is called Shine, A Girl's Guide to Thriving, not just surviving in real life. I've had this book like a couple of years now. To be honest, I feel like, obviously I'm 21 now, but I feel like this is probably more aimed around kind of 16 and younger. But I did read it when I was about 18 and I still found it like relatable and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of like an advice book, so it covers all sorts of things from like puberty, like relationships, sex, things like that. And yeah, like it's all, as you can see, it's all in like really like small little chapters, so it's quite easy to kind of read through and like dip in and out of, which I quite like. Yeah, so it's written by two kind of school psychologists, I feel like, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. As I said, I feel like I wish I had this book when I was back in school. Like, I feel like it really would have helped me back then. But as I said, I still benefited from reading it, obviously, but when I was 18. So, yeah, really like this one. As I said, if you're like slightly younger, I would really recommend this one. This one says, in Shine, A Girl's Guide to Thriving, not just surviving in real life, Mary Doherty, Doherty? And Siobhan Hackett have mined their experiences as teachers and counsellors with feedback from their students, past and present, have written a book to let every teenage girl know that they don't need to be the best at everything, they just need to be the best at being themselves. Yeah, that's something I found really good in this book, actually. So, yeah, obviously the two kind of experts write in the book, but like people they've kind of dealt with over years like write their responses to what they've said to them, which I find really interesting. So from coping with exam stress to examining negative thoughts, along with insights on body confidence and self-esteem, tips on how to deal with bullies online and in real life, breakups, sex, anxiety, and including helpful advice for parents. Shine shows girls how they can shine from inside and out and navigate the teenage years by being confident, strong and independent. So yeah, very positive, very uplifting. The next one is the book I'm currently reading, and it's Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. So this, as you can kind of tell by the title, is not really a story, it's not really advice either, it's more just someone's kind of memoirs. If you don't know Matt Haig, he writes a lot about kind of depression and anxiety. He's like a writer by trade, but he had quite a bad breakdown in the late 90s, which led him to be very like suicidal, and sort of as a result of that he's written like Reasons to Stay Alive, and then sort of this book, which is his most recent one. He writes kids books as well, and I love following him on social media. Like, he's one of my favourite accounts to follow. So this one says, the world is messing with our minds, what if there was something we could do about it? Looking at sleep, news, social media, addiction, work and play, Matt Haig invites us to feel calmer, happier and question the habits of the digital age. This book might even change the way you spend your precious time on Earth. And it's got like so many good reviews and stuff, and like as you see, I'm like halfway through it at the moment. I literally started reading it. We love when the dog barks at the postman. It's got loads of so many good reviews, and like again, it's another book you can kind of dip in and out of it. It's not like in really long chapters or anything. So yeah, there's like one about sort of social media, and like he even wrote like a bit in the beginning about like when he was writing the book about himself getting stressed out, and like as I said, it's very kind of chatty but very clever. Like, he uses a lot of like metaphorical things as well. But yeah, like I really love this, and I'm definitely going to buy Reasons to Stay Alive as well, because I feel like I'd really enjoy that book too. Okay, the next book is these books are honestly so dusty, so it's actually kind of gross. This is The Anxiety Journal, Exercises to Soothe Stress and Eliminate Anxiety Wherever You Are by Corinne Sweet. Firstly, I think this book just looks beautiful. Like, just like how calm does that make you feel looking at that cover? And like the foil writing is so nice as well. So yeah, it says, find calm and clarity wherever you are with this beautiful journal. In a fluttering in the chest, constant worrying, sleepless nights with your breath squeezed from you. 1 in 4 people suffer from anxiety, and the symptoms can feel overwhelming, but you can take control. Let psychologist Corinne Sweet help you on your way to eliminating anxiety with this journal full of inspiring quotes and advice when you need a quick calming fix, prompts grounded in cognitive behavioural therapy to help identify the causes of your anxiety for long-term peace of mind. Oh my god, that is not calming right now, that background noise. Prompts grounded, I've just read that bit. Soothing mindfulness exercises, pages to record your thoughts and keep track of progress. Practical, supportive and uplifting, this journal is an indispensable companion on your journey to a peaceful mind. So yeah, my mum bought me this, I think, for my birthday last year. Obviously when I was at university, like, my anxiety was honestly horrific this time last year, like, not good at all. So yeah, I folded down like a few of my favourite pages, I can't remember what they are. But yeah, so this one, okay, I see why I folded this one down. So this sort of section is called Anxiety Alchemy. So I'm not going to like read my little exercise, that's quite personal, but so it goes, anxiety tends to be described negatively, even derogatorily, but such labels can be unhelpful and pessimistic. There is no getting around the fact that chronic anxiety is incredibly difficult to live with, but it's important not to let it damage your self-esteem. But how might negative descriptions below be considered positive traits? Consider your own personality, your own anxiety, and add descriptions that can apply to you. For example, so say if you always say, oh, I'm such a worrier, you can change that into a positive by saying, actually, I'm very attentive to detail. Another one is like, oh, I'm such a hyperactive person, but you can make that positive, be like, no, I'm really energetic, I'm really enthusiastic. And then the other example is frightened. So I say something like, I feel like, oh God, I feel really scared by the situation, but actually I'm just very careful and cautious. So this is like, I've never been like, honestly, I've seen so many different therapists, but I've never really been taught this kind of process. So yeah, I've obviously written down some of my experiences there. What else have I got in here? So it's got like a page about dreams. So anxiety aftermath can cause disturbed sleep and provoke unsettling dreams. I get this a lot, like when I'm really anxious about exams or coursework, I dream like really vividly. You may experience nightmares, night sweats and repetitive dreams as your brain tries to process your fear. You might even have an anxiety dream in the run-up to a specific event like a job interview, a first date or moving house. Or you might even have one after a frightening event or episode. Dreams are your mind's way of processing the experiencing and making sense of the emotions that have been stirred. So yeah, obviously not all the pages have like exercise on them, like some of them are just kind of quick and easy things to read. What else have I done? So, this is like personal anxiety patterns. Again, I won't read that out, so that's my kind of thing. But yeah, like as I said, it's got little quick things like how to have a mindful like lunch break, and like just look at that like quote, what does it say, out to lunch, but it just looks so nice. But yeah, again, like it's got things for like nighttime, things to do in the morning, like lunch, like as I said, again, this is a really good one to like dip in and out of. I might bring this back with me to uni actually, because I forgot how helpful it is. Okay, the next book is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Now this one is very, very spiritual, so if you don't really like that sort of thing, you probably won't like this. But to be honest, before I read this, I'd never read anything spiritual before. So I'm going to read the blurb. The 10th anniversary edition of this international bestseller, A New Earth, will change your life. Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth is a cornerstone for personal spirituality and self-improvement, leading readers to new levels of consciousness and inner peace. Taking off from The Power of Now, which was a #1 bestseller and has sold millions of copies worldwide. I've never read that book, so I can't tell you about that. Tolle provides the framework for people to move beyond themselves in order to make this world a better, more spiritually evolved place to live. Shattering modern ideas of ego and entitlement, self and society, Tolle leads the veil of fear that has hung over humanity during this new millennium and illuminates the path to health and happiness that every reader can follow. So yeah, obviously this focuses on like the ego, like your subconscious and things like that. I've highlighted like a few of my favourite quotes again. So this is like in quotation marks. Well, right now this is how it is. I can either accept it or make myself miserable. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it, which I do agree with. And then it says, instead of blaming the darkness, you can bring in the light, which I really, really like. Yeah, as I said, there's loads of different things. Oh my god, I've got a big one here. What's this? Again, I read this about 2 years ago, so I don't really remember it that clearly. Okay, when you hate what you are doing, complain about your surroundings, curse the things that are happening or have happened, And when your inner dialogue consists of shoulds and shouldn'ts, of blaming and accusing, then you are arguing what is. Arguing with that, which is already the case. You are making life into an enemy, and life says war is what you want and war is what you get. External reality, which always reflects the way back to your inner state, is then experienced as hostile. So that's kind of saying, like, if you're like always complaining, like you're kind of making things worse for yourself. Like, whereas if you didn't approach things in a like angry way, you could make things like around you better, which I find really interesting. So the next two are like kind of more like fictional books. They're not necessarily like this is mental health or like this is like spirituality kind of thing. So the first one is literally one of my favourite books ever, and it's The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. So it's a film as well, so if you don't want to read it, you can like watch the film, but I personally prefer the book. Like there's so many storylines they miss out in the film. But anyway, Charlie's not the biggest geek in high school, but he's by no means popular. Shy, introspective, intelligent, yet socially awkward. Me, I mean, I'm not that intelligent, but Charlie is a wallflower standing on the threshold of his life whilst watching everyone else live theirs. As Charlie tries to navigate his way through uncharted territory, the world of first dates and mixtapes, family dramas and new friends, he realises he can't stay on the sidelines forever, that comes a time when you have to see what life looks like from the dance floor. So yeah, as you can tell, like Charlie's kind of not like an outsider, but he hasn't really got a solid group of friends yet. But like this like book looks at so many different sort of topic areas, as it says sort of like dating, friendships, and like his own kind of mental health and his family's mental health. And yeah, like as you can see, it's quite a short book. Like I've read this like 3 times, but I love it every time I read it. Again, I feel like there's some really good quotes in here. Oh, what was that? I've highlighted something. Oh, classic. I feel infinite. Do you remember like everyone used to put it on Instagram? But yeah, like I know it was very hyped up at the time, but like I can see why. Like I feel like everyone, even if you're not a big reader, you probably will enjoy and get something out of this book. But yeah, love that one. Next one was another very hyped up book, is All the Bright Places, which I think is being made into a Netflix film or TV series or something. So it says Theodore Finch wants to take his own life. I'm broken and no one can fix it. Violet Markey is devastated by her sister's death. In that incident, we were plodding through the guardrail. My words died too. They meet on the ledge of a school bell tower, and so their story begins. Is only together they can be themselves. I send a message to Violet. You're all the colours in one and at full brightness. You're so weird, Finch, but that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. But as Violet's world grows and Finch's begins to shrink, how far will Violet go to save the boy she's come to love? So as you can tell, this book does like address like suicide and sort of depression a lot, which if that's something that triggers you, like I probably wouldn't recommend this book, but it's done very well. Like it's not super graphic. Like I've read other books about mental health which I feel like are sometimes a bit much, but yeah, this one's very kind of not like stylized, but like as I said, it's written very kind of sensitively. And yeah, I actually read the like, what is it called at the back? Not the acknowledgements, but it's just, I think it's just the author's note. Yeah, the author talks about her own struggles with mental illness and like grief and stuff, which I found really interesting, and I can see why she wrote the book down, like how she's written it so well from her own experience. But yeah, like I would really recommend this. Again, this is chunkier than Perks Being a Wallflower, but really recommend it. And like the chapters are quite short if I remember. Yeah, like some of them are literally like 3 pages long, so you can get through it quite quick. But yeah, those are all my favourite books about mental health. Let me know what your favourite books are down below, because as I said, I love reading. I find that a really like relaxing way to kind of chill out my very anxious brain. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this video. Let me know if you want any more book related videos. I haven't filmed any in like ages on this channel, because I've been very like kind of fashion and like hauls and stuff, but as I said, I do like to read, so yeah. Oh my god, I need to rest my voice. But anyway, please like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you soon. Bye.